So Paper Mario and the Origami King has come out recently. I am a big Paper Mario fan myself, but guess what? Game journalists are coming out with their own reviews, and it's game journalists. And so what are they saying about it? Oh, that's right, that Mario supports toxic masculinity, as well as colonialism. Oh, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this article that we're going to get into, yep, it's all about how they can just attack the game over misogyny and colonialism. Oh my dear God. Who's really surprised? Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So Paper Mario is a franchise I've always enjoyed, and as someone who's always been a big Nintendo fan, which Nintendo, obviously, they're not without their criticism, thing of it is Paper Mario has been one of those series that I've actually really liked. Since the N64, I thought the original Paper Mario was a load of fun. I really liked it for what it was. I mean, of course, if you go back, it is very reminiscent of, Mario and the Seven Stars. If anybody remembers that RPG game from the NES, load of fun. Loved that game. Too bad they never made a continuation. I would have loved a sequel to that. But my favorite is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Always loved that one the most. And I think, personally, that is the best Paper Mario game in the entire franchise. I mean, I really loved it. I think the characters are great. The story was a really fun one. I really enjoyed the game. And the final boss, the Shadow Queen, very difficult, but, very rewarding when you finally won in the end. I personally love that game. But, of course, now they're after Paper Mario, because apparently Paper Mario is problematic. It's it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there's already been a lot of stuff about Ghost of Tsushima that's been going around, but now they're going after Paper Mario. So, if Ghost of Tsushima wasn't enough for them to attack, which is a fantastic game, by the way, now they're attacking Paper Mario. So Paper Mario, the Origami King, is unambitious, problematic, fun. I mean, this is absolutely dumb. Now, here's the funny thing. If you go into the first part of this article, the first part of it actually does seem like a actual legitimate review, which is pretty surprising in itself, because, it's game journalist, and what do they typically make their reviews about? Well, they typically make it about politics and their narratives, and, if stuff didn't fit their values, then of course they complain about it, right? That's the typical game journalist nowadays, because, they're not gamers. They just sit over here and they complain about anything that doesn't fit their narratives or their values. So, whenever I saw the first half of this article, I was like, wow, I'm actually surprised. This is actually a legitimate review, and there are some things in it that I can agree with about the game. But then when you scroll to about the halfway point, that's when it gets political. And then you're like, oh, of course. Because when do game journalists not do this? So, this is where it gets real bad with their article. This is the meat and the potatoes of it. This reveals the limited ambition of Origami King, and Nintendo as a corporate game company at that. Historically, there is a standard of corporate design meant to adhere to a limited audience and alienate the rest. Video games are saturated with decades of colonial masculine military violence and foster a dominant culture of design through its standards. See, they couldn't resist. At first it seemed like they were having a legitimate review for the first part of their article, and then here comes the politics. They could not resist. They were just waiting for this part. Despite the charm and fun that is in Origami King, it can't imagine game design outside of the realm that corporate game development has engineered. Unfortunately, this means that there are implicit harm for politics within the game because it upholds these values. Oh dear me. Oh no. It's so bad that a corporation, that is built upon, capitalism, it's so bad that they want to get out a product to make money. Oh, man. Oh, all those bad companies trying to make money to survive. Am I right? Ugh, good Lord. I mean, seriously, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with them wanting to make money? It makes absolutely no sense. This article is just so dumb. And of course, we're going to get to the point of colonial, the buzzword now that's going around. It's a big thing, apparently, amongst game journalists. We'll get to that in a moment, though. A power that Olivia can use throughout the adventure. By the way, Olivia is Mario's partner, like he has in a lot of Paper Mario games. Is the transformation into Velumentals via Magic Circle. These Velumentals take a lot of inspiration from Super Sentai, as transformation sequences and giant monster battles are prominently featured. However, in order to obtain these powers, they must be stolen. So they're trying to say Mario practices colonialism by stealing these powers from the creatures that he destroys. What? That doesn't make any sense. When I say stolen, I mean Mario enters shrines built for local animal gods who are minding their business and kills them to take their powers. While there isn't much said about these battles, I found myself really uncomfortable with killing each Williamental. Here I was breaking into a places of home and worship only to kill and steal. What? Like, when people play this game, they just care about playing the game. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. And the thing is, these are actual arguments they're trying to make. This is actual faults they have with the game. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. It sounds so absurd. Because their fault is the fact that they're saying that Mario, he supports colonialism by stealing these powers from these monsters that he kills. That's so stupid. And game journalists, they're not really game journalists, Basically, all they're about is their agenda, what they can push. It's not about the game, it's about what agendas they can push. That's all it's about to them, is their narrative. If it doesn't fit their narrative, they're going to complain, until they get it in the game that they want. That's how it is with these idiots. They're not really gamers, and it's very obvious. The characters never say much about these actions, and because it's Paper Mario, there isn't much expressed about the plumber's raids, aside from a cute mustache twiddle. However, this lack of recognition doesn't take away from the theme of violence in these moments. When each Volumental is defeated, they fall down, crying in pain, before being forced into a book for Mario to take on his journey. There is also possibly the worst treatment of Princess Peach as a character that I can remember in recent history. She's turned into a servant for the villain of the game and eventually just becomes the centerpiece of his wall later on. If she wasn't objectified enough as the object of marriage, then maybe just make her a piece of architecture, I guess. Well then, I would think they'd complain about how the Shadow Queen used her as a vessel, and the Thousand Year Door. If that's their complaint, then man, I can only imagine how they'd feel if they went back and played Thousand Year Door then. Oh, and take a look at the first sentence of this next paragraph. This is what goes through their mind here when playing this game. We'll look at the landscapes. I think about these politics each time I am struck by the landscapes of Mario's journey. What? Why? When someone's playing the game, they don't think about that stuff. A gamer just thinks about having fun with the game. They don't think about this stuff. That's absolutely absurd. Why does that go through their mind? What? That's so ridiculous to me. Many of these implicit politics shine through Origami King, and despite the joys I had playing, I only found reason to be excited for smaller studios making games inspired by the series. Sure, it's a ton of funny jokes, a lot of the little puzzles, and vignettes are also fun as well. However, it's hard to look past the masculinist colonist ideals it holds onto and consider coming back again. I'm not sure if I'll be able to forget the fun and laughter of Origami King, but I also won't forget its problems. You see, it's real problems to them, to this game journalist, as they claim they're a game journalist. You see, the real problem to them is that it doesn't fit their narrative. And that's the thing. Trying to state that Mario is misogynist and a colonialist. What in the world? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, and that's the thing. Now, the point is here that I'm about to make. Colonialist seems to be the big buzzword for game journalists now. And it's been seen more often in a lot of their articles. So, got to give a shout out to Sophia Norwitz here, because Sophia was the one who brought this up, complaining about colonialism in a Mario game. Modern game journalists needs to be taken out to pasture, even if it means taking myself with it. And then, of course, when you look at this, there was all the tags of the whole article that we just went over with Paper Mario. But that's the thing. Colonialism seems to be the big thing to these game journalists nowadays. And that seems to be the whole thing that was the issue, what was problematic. Which I hate the word problematic, but that seems to be the problematic thing to them, and you can really see it, and all the things that Sophia points out with this article. I mean, there's so many ridiculous things going on when it comes to game journalists. And Sophia also had another tweet months back in December of last year stating this: game journalists continue to complain about colonialism in video games, proving once again that the medium has been hijacked by pussies. Oh, that's excellent. That's so good. That's fantastic. But I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, to see that this is what's been going on. These game journalists are making it all about their politics, as we've already known. We've seen multiple times before. These people are just a bunch of talentless hacks. That's all they are. They're not for the gamers, despite the fact that they say, oh, we're the voice of the gamers. They're not really the voice of the gamers. I mean, all they are is just a bunch of activists trying to push their narrative. That's what game journalists are. And you can really see it with this old stuff here, too. Yet again, problematic. The colonial stuff. See, yet again, more of the colonial stuff. As you can see, they're trying to push this. And then, yet again, here it is. Iceborne is Monster Hunter at its peak, colonialist, fantasy included. So this seems to be their big word that's been going on for months now that they seem to use. And here's another example that Sophia had. How Greedfall's RPG framework exacerbates its colonialist impulses. You see, it's all over the place, and that's game journalists in a nutshell nowadays. It's always about their agenda and what they're going to try to push. It's not about the game. It's not actually about the gamers. It's not about giving a good review. It's about what politics they can push. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, people don't care about that crap. When people look for a review, they look for a review about the game. That's all they care about. They don't care about the politics. They don't care about that. That's not what they think about. That's not what they look for when they look for a review. That's why people typically have gone to user reviews, because, that's where the real story typically lies, is with the users, because, there are other gamers that are sharing their opinions, and that's what people are looking for, so that they can, think, hey, I might actually want this game now. And, that's the big thing. Game journalists, they're irrelevant. I mean, they really are, and they're falling more and more into irrelevancy as they continue to pull this crap. And, that's the thing. Game journalists, they're not for gamers. They are nothing but a bunch of activists that try to push their agenda. That's all they are. But anyways, I'll be back again on Tuesday. Let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the news videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.